I remember back in college, there was this party I attended. It was one of those classic icebreaker disasters where no one knew each other. Imagine me standing there, awkwardly clutching a drink, surrounded by a sea of unknown faces. Then, I recalled something about conversation techniques and thought, all right, let's take a leap. I approached a group and asked them about their favorite movies. You wouldn't believe it. The entire room lit up like the 4th of July.
Oh wow, that's such a cool way to break the ice. So, what were some of those phrases you used to keep the conversation flowing? I can totally see how that would work, but what happens if they're just like, I don't know?
Great question. One technique to keep the momentum is to follow up on their answers. If someone mentions a favorite movie, you could ask, "Oh, I love that one. What did you think about the ending?" It shows that you're genuinely interested, and it keeps the dialogue alive.
Oh, that makes sense. It's kind of like those cooking shows where they add spices to enhance the flavor, right? If you throw in a question about the ending, it's like sprinkling some zest on the conversation. It really brings it to life.
Exactly. Another key aspect is active listening. You must truly listen, not only to the words, but also to the emotions behind them. For example, if someone shares they had a tough week, you could say, "That sounds really challenging. What happened?" Reflecting their feelings can create a deeper connection.
Oh yeah. I read somewhere that people are way more open if they feel like someone is actually listening. So, what if they start talking about something I totally know nothing about? What if they're super into quantum physics or something?
Haha, right? Quantum physics is quite the rabbit hole. But you could respond with something like, "Wow, that sounds complex. I'm not super familiar with it, but I'd love to hear how you got into it." It shows that you're curious, and you'd be surprised how many folks love sharing their passions.
Oh, I've definitely seen that. It's like when I asked my friend about astronomy once, and he just lit up. He started talking about black holes like he was narrating a sci-fi movie or something. So how do we keep the conversation flowing if there's, a lull?
Great point. If there's a lull in the conversation, one technique is to have a mental list of topics. You could pivot to current events, pop culture, or local happenings. For example, you might say, "Did you see that new movie that just came out?" It feels more natural than forcing the conversation.
Oh, that's genius. It's like having backup dancers for a performance, right? Just in case the lead needs a bit of support. So what about those really awkward silences? Those moments where it feels like the air is thick with crickets? Laughs.
Haha, the infamous cricket situation. Let's avoid that. You can deploy what I like to call humor rescue. If things go silent, you might say, "Well, I guess we both need a refill." It lightens the mood. Or you can simply acknowledge the silence. "Well, this is awkward, isn't it?" Believe it or not, this can spark a laugh and ease the tension.
Oh, I love that. It's like owning the awkwardness instead of trying to fight it. It's like wearing a funny hat. It makes the situation less serious. So how do you practice these skills in real life? Do you just dive in or?
Yes! Diving in is key. Start small. Maybe practice with friends or even a barista at a coffee shop. It's low pressure. Remember, the goal is just to connect, not to interrogate. Think of conversations as a dance, not a debate.
Dance. I love that analogy. So it's like, if one party is offbeat, the other just adjusts to keep the rhythm going? So are there certain phrases that might be, magical to help maintain that rhythm?
Absolutely. Phrases like, "That's a really interesting point," or "I hadn't thought of it that way," can work wonders. They validate what the other person is saying and encourage them to share more. And let's not forget, enthusiasm goes a long way.
Wow, I'm feeling pumped to hit those conversations now. So basically, be a conversational DJ, right? Mixing those beats together and keep the party going. Laughs.